In the plethora of 2015 blockbusters, does Star Wars Episode VII cast stand out? Will Zack Snyder do justice to the Justice League? And is The Amazing Spider-Man 2 adequate or amazing? All of these questions will be answered and more in this episode of Film Smart.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes...
Welcome back to Film Smart, and here are this week's top stories. This week we got the news that Zack Snyder is going to helm the Justice League movie that is set to come out in 2017 or 2018. Batman vs. Superman is going to be a lead into that, basically. What are your thoughts on this, Josh?
Great time to be a DC fan. Because what more can you want than the Justice League? The Justice League. The boss. Okay.
Yeah.
The real boss. Okay, but the Justice...
Excuse you.
There's no excuse me. The Justice League is the real team. Okay,
Aside
but...
from the Avengers, of course.
No, the Justice League was first. They're the real team.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, because the movies, yeah. Swerve.
Tread lightly. Okay.
The real team is the Justice League. Okay, so it's a good time to be a DC fan. Everybody knows that right now.
It's a good time to be a comic
fan.
fan.
To be a comic book fan in general, because now Justice League is coming on the scene, which is probably going to be the real competition with Marvel.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, I mean, X-Men is looking really good. So I'm hoping that one's pretty good. And then that Apocalypse will be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that there can be three competitors rather than just Marvel versus DC all the time. So it can be like Marvel versus DC versus Fox. Because, I mean, Sony and Fox have been at it for a long time, but everybody's still like, oh, Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a really good time to see all of these characters put on the screen together. Wonder Woman for the first time on the big screen, not because I know she had the TV show. But it's going to be really cool to see Wonder Woman with Cyborg and Batman with Superman again after Batman vs. Superman.
And this kind of confirms that we're getting the new 52 Justice League because Cyborg or Victor Stone, what's his name?
Ray Fisher
was cast as Victor Stone, and who becomes, of course, Cyborg in the comics, which he is part of the new 52 Justice League and was not a part of the original Justice League. So this means that we're probably going to get the new 52 Justice League. So
it's a very interesting story too to go by if they do the comic book story where they all kind of come together. I really hope how they're going to make, because while that was really good, it didn't really have much of a story.
Yeah.
Other than them just coming together to fight Darkseid, and it was pretty much the whole thing was a fight. But if they can add like some sense of story to that, then I'd be happy with that. But it's going to be really cool to see how Batman versus Superman leads right into Justice League.
Yeah.
So something's going to have to happen in that movie to get, I guess, even more heroes to come out and help them. I wonder who the villain's going to be for Justice League.
Mongol, Darkseid. I doubt they do Darkseid early. Maybe he would be like a Thanos figure. I don't know.
Yeah,
they could continue with Lex.
I hope they don't use the same villain.
Yeah, Brainiac maybe. I don't know.
Brainiac would be fun, but I like him more for Superman.
Just for Superman, yeah. Yeah, maybe they'll use him for like Man of Steel 3 or something.
That'd be so much fun. I kind of want to see Doomsday. I want to see Death of Superman.
Do you think after Justice League that they will do like a Man of Steel 3?
Yes.
And stuff?
Very much.
You think they'll continue?
I think if Wonder Woman, because they, I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody who works for Warner Brothers. I think it was some chairman. Was it Greg Silverman? I think it was him.
Probably.
But he said that the world is ready for Wonder Woman, but they just don't have her. Like, they don't have any plans for it because there's just no material that anybody has right now. So some writer, if you're watching this, please go to Warner Brothers, be like, I'll write your Wonder Woman. A good writer. Don't be there if you're mediocre. But
yeah,
they said the world's ready for her, and then they'll do her. It once like the whole thing. Once all of that happens, and if they like her in Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, and then Green Lantern, I think they can give that another chance.
Yeah,
because the movie did make $200 million worldwide, but that's not a lot. But it made like $1 million over the budget. I know, but I mean, they should have made a much cheaper movie for a character that was that risk. Like,
well, that and the special effects still look terrible.
Yeah,
so I just
I don't know how it can look that bad. Yeah. OL wasn't impressive, so I don't know why it even cost
came
that
out
much.
3 years ago.
Iron Man has better graphics,
and that came out 3 years before that. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how they bring Flash into it. With this show, we'll see. Whatever, maybe they'll bring a Green Arrow, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman. We'll see. Our next story is bigger even. Star Wars Episode 7 cast came out. We found out the original trilogy cast is coming out. We have Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, Han Solo with Harrison Ford. This is very exciting to see because a lot of people were speculating whether or not these guys would be in it, and they are. And of course, we also have Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO. We have Peter Mayhew, who did Chewbacca. We have the actor who played R2-D2, Kenny Baker. He's doing R2-D2 again. So it's really cool to see that these 6 actors are all coming back to play these characters they played 30 years ago. And we have new cast members like John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Oscar nominee Max von Sydow, Adam Driver. This is definitely an exciting cast, and a lot of the new people who are in this cast are unknowns like the original trilogy members were. A lot of people didn't know them, so that's definitely interesting. Oh, and Oscar Isaac, who was in Inside Llewyn Davis. This definitely is a very exciting cast. What are your thoughts on it, Josh?
I mean, I don't really know a lot about the whole cast or anything, and I did like the old Star Wars movies. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan. I'm looking forward to it, but just as much as Avengers 2 and although I'm just looking forward to it in general because I really want to see what these new ones will offer better than the prequels could offer something, and I like to see a continuation of the story rather than a prequel leading up to it. We get to see where everybody went. So it's really cool to see even the fans of the old ones and the fans, I guess, who grew up during the prequels. Yeah. And then all of those, they're all going to be coming out to do that. So this is going to be a huge movie.
Yeah, this is going to bring young people, old people, middle-aged people. People are going to come back from the dead just to go see this movie. So this is going to bring everybody. And it's important to note, Andy Serkis is in this movie, who is, top-notch motion capture. He does Caesar. He did Gollum. Who else did he did? I can't remember. He did another high famous character, and he always does a lot of motion capture, and he's very well known, at least in the Hollywood world. Not many people know him, but they know the characters he's played. They definitely would recognize the characters he's played, and he's a very good motion capture artist, probably the best in the business.
They got him for Avengers 2.
Yeah, they have Avengers 2. We don't know who he's going to be doing. I know a lot of people were thinking maybe like Yoda. I don't know, but it's hard to say. I was thinking maybe Yoda. I don't know, but he's dead, so they could bring him back as a ghost or something. I don't know, but whoever he plays, I'm sure he'll kill it because he always does. Some notable people who weren't there that people had been speculating would be there would be Gary Oldman, who a lot of people thought might be in the movie, which he could still be announced, but they were they were talking about him. We don't know. He could still be in the movie. I'm sure they'll have maybe something announced on May 4th or sometime later. I don't think this is the whole cast. I also think maybe Lupita Nyong'o. I heard they were speaking to her. I think it would be a mistake not to add her in. She brings more women in. We need more women in this movie because there aren't that many. I think Daisy Ridley is like the only one, aside from Carrie Fisher.
Didn't they confirm they're bringing in another female member?
Did they?
I read an article where they were talking about that they were going to bring in somebody else. They just didn't have her yet, so they didn't put her in that photo.
Maybe that's Lupita Nyong'o. She would bring in more women. She would bring in some more diversity, more caliber even. So I mean, it would just that would be great. I also heard Billy D. Williams. A lot of people were speculating who played Lando Calrissian. He might be brought in. I don't know if he will. I hope he does because he's really good. But whether or not he is definitely a great character. I know he was on Dancing with the Stars and he injured his back. Maybe he injured his back or something. I think so. I don't know if that'll affect Star Wars or if that is because of Star Wars. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully, he will definitely be put in. But yeah, I think the cast is exciting.
It all sounds pretty good.
I think it sounds pretty good. I think everybody in here is a great actor. Even the less known people have done great roles. I hope it all turns out well, because if it doesn't, a lot of people are going to be feeling the same way they did in 1999 when Phantom Menace came out. So we'll see. Let's just not get too excited, and then if it sucks, let's keep those down. Keep our hopes a little down. Our last story is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, that came out on May 2nd. We just saw it recently. We're just going to give out some thoughts, and this is going to be there's going to have some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this part of the video. Come back when you've watched it, and if you have watched it, go ahead, watch this, see what our thoughts are. Maybe we have some of the same thoughts you guys did. What are your initial thoughts of the movie, Josh?
While I like I like the villain, I like the characters more than the movie. That's how I'm going to say, because I like Green Goblin, Harry Osborn in general. He was my favorite character in the movie. I just like his struggle as a character and his whole arc, but it's kind of a shame that Spider-Man wasn't my favorite character.
Yeah.
And then I liked Gwen Stacy even a little bit better. I mean, I just found him so boring, this movie.
Well, here, my thing, I liked Spider-Man. I thought he had some funny scenes, when he hosed Electro and he has the fireman hat on and he's like, hey, thanks, Big John, or whatever. I liked that scene and everything. I thought Spider-Man was funny. I actually liked Spider-Man a lot in this movie. I think the movie itself just bored me. So I'm not a big proponent of this movie.
I don't think it was. It was boring, and it just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
It felt kind of it felt very like it wasn't packed because it was very long.
It was disjointed.
Yeah, it was they didn't have any real pace, and then there was just a lot of rush.
It wanted to be kiddie, and it also wanted to be dark. It wanted to be the Dark Knight and Avengers, and then it also wanted to be Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
it was just,
I think it leaned more toward Batman and Robin.
It couldn't find a happy medium, and really there is no happy medium with Batman and Robin. That's a piece of crap. If you strive to be that, then
you need help.
Rethink your career. But yeah, it was just this movie had so many problems. I mean, there were some definitely redeeming quality. All the acting was great. I don't think anybody's debating that. Everybody, what they got. Now, I'm not saying everybody had a good role, but what they were given was fine. What they did with what they were given was fine. But the campiness of some of these characters. Jamie Foxx's Max Dillon. When he was Electro, I thought he was cool and all. When he was Max Dillon, I don't know if you felt the same way. I thought he was a little campy. It was just a little too much.
They laid it on too thick.
Yeah, nobody cares about me. Nobody knows my name. We get it. He kept doing it when he was Electro too, and that made Electro a little corny. So I don't know. It got old for me. Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker's relationship was great. Peter Parker with Aunt May, that was a great relationship. That was a great performance, right? Or great scene when they were talking, and she was saying, your dad was never there. You're my child.
Yeah, you finally got to delve into her.
Yeah,
because she's not just there to be she has feelings too. Well, yeah, and I like that they reveal those.
Well, you don't put an actress of her caliber in, and then just she's important. I think my favorite part of the movie was Gwen Stacy's death scene, and I know that's pretty dark to say, but I think it actually was a great scene. It was like it was pulled straight out of the comics.
Powerful.
Goblin. Yeah, I mean, because it kept saying, we're gonna kill her in that scene, because she kept getting held on, holding on for dear life, and then finally, it breaks her back and neck. I would pay money just to watch that scene again. Like
that sounds pretty morbid.
Yeah, I'm not saying I like seeing people die, but that was a powerful scene. The whole thing was just powerful and sad, in the way Spider-Man felt after that happened. That was a really good scene, and I thought it brought something that Tobey Maguire didn't bring. I think Andrew Garfield completely owns Spider-Man now. I don't think you can. Everything that's wrong with this movie has nothing to do with any of the acting. You can't, and nothing to do with Andrew Garfield, nothing to do with Emma Stone or Jamie Foxx or any of the actors or actresses. Everybody did fine. It was just the story was so convoluted. There were so many things. Rhino was completely unnecessary. It felt so disjointed. I hated it.
And then there were just parts of the movie that felt like a completely different movie.
Yes.
The whole romance. I mean, there were parts of it I was like, is this even Spider-Man? It felt like just a love movie about Gwen.
Yeah, because people were saying I did like the Gwen and Peter relationship.
I did like that, yeah,
but it needed to be tempered. There was too much of it. It was too long, and they kept having such long scenes, and it was like, okay, we can go back a little bit. And
Yeah, this isn't a TV show. You don't need to like delve into their relationship as if it's the biggest part of the show.
Yeah, it's like, you can't do that. It was too long. That was too much for me. Another problem I had was the German doctor. I just, if you've seen the movie, obviously you know who I'm talking about. He was, and the faces he gave when he was looking at Jamie Foxx was just. it was just
bad.
A lot of people are speculating he might be Doc Ock, but I have no idea. I think it was terrible. That acting was just awful. I liked Harry Osborn. I think it's important to mention he was great. Dane DeHaan really brought it to the role. Did you like him in the movie?
Yeah, he was my favorite.
Yeah,
Harry was my favorite character.
He had cool action scenes. Some of the CGI every once in a while I'd be like, that's fake. Like I could just tell.
It looked like a video game.
Yeah, some parts like when Spider-Man was fighting Electro, you could tell it was kind of fake. What do you give the movie? What score would you give it?
Out of 10, I give it a 5.5.
I would probably give it 5. I'll probably give it a 5. Yeah, so those are our final thoughts of the movie. If you didn't listen to us and you watched this review having not seen the movie, I would recommend you watch it and form your own opinion about it, because there are some really great scenes in this movie, and there are some things worth seeing that would tease next films. It also felt like an advertisement for the next film.
Yeah, I just saw the trailer.
But, whatever. So I would recommend you see this film, but it's not amazing. It's the adequate Spider-Man, too.
It's the amazing garbage man, too.
Yeah.
It kind of wasn't, I wouldn't even say it was average. It was kind of bad.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was nothing like Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But form your own opinion. Tell us what you thought of this review. Tell us what you thought of this whole video. Subscribe, like, and as always, stay film smart.
Lately, I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.